When the lilacs bloomed again, a story about the letter that changed everything. They say that when people grow old together, love either becomes quieter or deeper. For Evelyn and Thomas Harper, it became both. They had been married for 42 years, living in a small house on the edge of town, where lilac bushes grew so tall that their scent reached the porch every spring. Thomas used to say that lilacs were Evelyn's laughter in bloom, bright, stubborn, and impossible to ignore. But lately, that laughter had faded. Ever since his illness began, Thomas had withdrawn into silence. His hands trembled, his steps slowed, and the man who once danced barefoot in the kitchen now spent hours staring out the window. Evelyn tried to stay strong, cooking his favorite meals, reading him their old love letters. But sometimes she'd walk into the garden and cry where no one could see. One evening, while sorting through an old wooden box of papers, she found a sealed envelope with her name on it, dated May 4th, 1983, the year they got married. The paper had yellowed and the ink had faded, but the handwriting was unmistakably his. She hesitated before opening it. Thomas was asleep in his chair, his breathing soft and uneven. Inside was a single page. My dearest Evie, if ever the day comes when I forget how to love you the way I should, please remember this. I have loved you in every season, even the ones I didn't deserve you. When I get quiet, it isn't because I've stopped feeling. It's because my love has grown too big for words. Promise me one thing. When the lilacs bloom again, don't mourn what's gone. Sit outside, close your eyes, and let the wind tell you everything I can't. Evelyn pressed the letter to her chest and sobbed quietly, the kind of sob that only comes from years of holding too much inside. The next morning, she brewed 2 cups of tea instead of 1, just like she always did, and carried them to the porch. The lilacs had just started to bloom. She sat beside him, watching as he dozed in the chair beside her, sunlight flickering across his face. "Tom," she whispered, "the lilacs are back." He stirred a little, his lips parting in a faint smile. And then, almost like a whisper carried by the wind, he said, "Told you they'd find us again." That afternoon, he passed away, quietly, gently, like a leaf letting go in autumn. Weeks later, Evelyn invited her children and grandchildren to the garden. She planted a new lilac bush in his memory, right beside the old one. He used to say, she told them, her voice trembling but calm, that love doesn't end, it changes its shape. Every year after that, when the lilacs bloomed, she sat on that porch with her tea and his letter, reading it aloud as if he were right beside her. And in a way, he always was. End note. Years later, when Evelyn herself passed away, her daughter found the same letter tucked under a glass on the porch table, next to a new note in Evelyn's handwriting. If you ever doubt love, look to the lilacs. They never forget when to return. And that spring, when the lilacs bloomed again, the whole town smelled like love that never truly left.